those who don't know, what is emotional intelligence? Take us through a little bit about it.
Oh my goodness. It is the ability to be able to use, manage, understand your emotions in a healthy manner.
There I was, an upcoming HR professional. I was flying high, scoring. I was even deemed the best HR of the year.
Guys, I'm so happy to be here. We addressed some hard things.
Hello, beautiful people. You are at the right place at the right time, doing the right thing with the right person. Hello, welcome to Wednesday, November 20th, 2024. Yes, we all have one thing on our minds and one thing only. I'm thinking what you're thinking. It's time to have some Thanksgiving food. Thinking the same thing. You see how that worked? You see how that worked, you guys? No matter where you are, I know you were thinking exactly what I was thinking. So welcome to A Glimpse of Growth with Dr. Dale. Man, I hope you guys are amazing out there. I hope you guys are feeling good because I'm feeling good. No, feeling good. Well, good is not a feeling. So I am feeling excited. There you go. That's what I'm going to say. I'm feeling excited. Excited. So, what are we talking about? For the past 2 weeks, last week it started, and this week we're going to continue that trend. This last week we started talking about leveling up your career. So, that takes different forms. What are you doing to level up your career? The title is Empower Your Career, Level Up, Thrive, let's go to the next level. Whether that be at your current job or at your next job, whatever that looks like. Or if you don't have a job, this is what you need to be doing right now. These 10 gems. And I'm not doing this. I'm just assisting, co-hosting with my amazing guests. We had her here last week. I'm just going to bring up Stephanie because I shared her with you guys last week, and I'm going to bring her back to share her again this week to finish us off with the 10 gems. 10 gems. I'm calling it, in short, level up your career in 10. Stephanie, let them know who you are. Again, for those that wasn't here last week.
Yes. Hi, hello everyone. I'm Stephanie Droulard, certified HR professional. I've been in the profession for about 17 years now. I've worked in retail, healthcare, property management, and more recently, I work in local government. It's definitely never a dull moment. Definitely something different every day. I continue to learn every day, which is paramount to growth and development, and regardless of what your profession is. Consistent learning. So I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so happy for the invite, Dr. Dale. Thank you again.
Yeah, thank you. Because let me tell you, for anyone that is listening, sometimes you start a new job and you just don't know what to do, or you don't know what to do. You've been at the job for maybe a minute and you just haven't gone to the next level, or you don't know what it takes to get to the next level. Nobody's telling you. I wish somebody had told me all of these things, these 10 gems that Stephanie is dropping here, when I first started, right? 15, 20 years ago, right? But I didn't have nobody. So that's why we coming in here, because we don't want you to be out there left alone. We don't want to leave you out there by yourself. We want to make sure that you have what it takes, and if you don't know what you need to have to what it takes, these gems will tell you just that. So let's do a little recap, right, Stephanie? Maybe let's do a recap, kind of give them where we covered 5 last week. Today we're going to cover the other 5.
Yes.
Right? So what did we say? Number 1 was what, Steph? Let me see if I can find it here.
Number 1 is be curious and ask questions. Yes, absolutely. Definitely, whatever you're thinking, whatever you're wondering about when you start a new job, ask those questions. Don't keep it to yourself. The more you know, the better you'll be able to perform. So definitely ask.
Agreed. If you want more details on that, you're gonna have to go to the video, the the live from last week, and check it out, right? Because we went in depth on on all of these already. So quickly, number two.
Yes, advocate for your mental health. Without your mental health, everything else falls apart. So take care of you so you can take care of others.
Ooh, you want more on that? You're gonna have to go watch the video. Sorry. So number three, what was number three, Steph? What was number
Be,
three?
be the solution, not the problem.
We spent a lot of time on this one
Yes,
last
yes,
week.
we did. I think it speaks for itself, honestly. Rather than just being part of the problem and bringing up problems, find a way to contribute to the solution.
100%. What she said. She just said it. She just said it. So number four.
Number 4, learn to embrace differences. And it's natural to be hesitant to new people and new situations, but differences actually bring learning experiences, and it makes us better in the long run.
It makes us, makes you, makes me better in not only at work, but also at home, at
Right.
church, at school,
Yes.
all of the spaces that you are in. Embrace the differences. Embrace it. And number five.
Number 5, my favorite, upskill
Yeah,
for your life. Keep
that's right.
learning. Keep it going. Never stop learning.
Run upskill depends on it. Upskill meaning learn, grow, empower. Go to that course, do that certification, maybe do another degree, maybe go to that training, right? Go be in spaces like this so you can continue to learn and level yourself up. Because again, we don't know it all.
Right.
We don't know. And if Einstein, he didn't have it all figured out, and he still said, even Solomon, if you believe in the Bible, and he said, wisdom, keep getting it, keep growing it. So this is our favorite. That was one of my favorite as well. Upskill for your life, because growing and thriving and getting to know people and the people in different spaces. It's a plus, right? It's a plus.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
today, what are we talking about? Number 6. We're going to number 6, Steph, and
Number
I'm gonna let you
6.
announce it. And number 6 is.
Use downtime to your advantage. Yes, absolutely. Downtime is a very critical time for your growth and development. So, if you completed your task, your project, maybe you caught up with all your administrative items and you have some free time, rather than scrolling on social media, which we all do, but rather than do that, take that time to learn something new. So it kind of falls into number 5, upskilling for your life. This is a chance for you to go over to a coworker or even your supervisor and ask them if you can shadow what they're doing, right? It could be a coworker that does a
Mm,
completely right, does a completely different role than you. Now you can find out how they contribute to your organization's bottom line. It could be a coworker who does the same job as you, but they may have different organizational tools, time management tools, or a hack or a trick that they can teach you for you to perform even better in your role. You never know. Learning never stops. It really doesn't. And if you find that there's no one to shadow, take that time now to do some research in your profession. For example, pretty much every profession out there has a professional organization that aligns with what you do to teach you, train you, educate you on ways for you to be better, for you to learn new skills, right? And if you're not sure what organization aligns with your profession, you can go to onnetonline.org. You can go to jobstars.com or careeronestop.org as well. Just enter your profession and see a list of all the professional organizations that are there for you. You can read an article, a blog, news releases, new legislation in your profession. Stay on top of it, stay sharp, stay ready.
ooh, stay sharp, stay ready. You heard that? So that's how Stephanie and I met. we were part of a professional organization in our industry, in our line of work, human resources.
Yes.
We connected at the board level, went to meetings, and that's how we met. So you see, you don't know where connections are going to leave you.
Right.
So use your downtime. Stephanie, there was a quote that, not a quote necessarily, I heard a phrase and it stayed with me. And it was so
Mhm.
good for me that I had to write it down. And I would love to hear your thoughts on it. This coach that I listened to, he said, you have to be in the right classroom and in the classroom right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. That's like being at the right place
So
at the right time
yeah, so
around the right
you have
people.
to be in the right company. You may be in the right company. I don't know your company's culture. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know. We don't know, right? But if you may be in the right company, but if you're not in that company right, meaning if you don't have the right open mind to what, to Stephanie's point here, using your downtime. I used to work with this girl that said, she used to, I said, you're gonna sit there and just do nothing, and she would say, I'm doing something. That's what she said, Stephanie. She says she's doing something.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, you just can't sit there and twiddle your thumbs. You're not doing anything. So please don't be at work doing this. Don't do it.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. Oh no, no, no. You gotta
Don't
do
be don't be twiddling your thumbs.
right.
Because you're not getting nowhere. You're not helping anyone. Or don't be scrolling, right, Steph?
Right.
Scrolling on
Yes.
social media,
Yes.
right?
There's a
And then
time
you
for
want to
that.
find out.
We all do it. Yes.
And
There's
that's
the right time for it.
do your lunchtime or your break or something, right? Or when you just finish doing that big project, you're like, oh, great, I can get me 5 minutes. I can do some scrolling. But you can't be, I don't know, Stephanie, you can't be at the job for 3 years and be scrolling and then wondering why you ain't getting the promotion. I mean,
Exactly. People notice. People do notice. Yep. They're making mental notes and in actual notes. They're
right.
documenting it too.
And
Yeah.
if you think people are not watching you, they're always
Yeah.
watching. Correct me if I'm wrong, Stephanie.
They are watching. They are watching. Yes, it's true. It's very true. And especially for annual reviews, when you find out that you don't meet expectations or you just meet and you thought you exceeded, they're observing you for an entire year. There might have been behavior that wasn't up to par back in March, back in April, back in September that you forgot about. But they're making notes, and which is what leads to not getting the evaluation that you were hoping for. So people are paying
100%.
attention.
So let's get off of this one before I make more jokes about it. What's number 7, Stephanie?
All right. Number 7, entry-level jobs lead to desired careers. Okay. So throughout my career, different individuals at different levels, they're all thinking, oh, entry-level job. For whatever reason, there's a negative connotation to it. I don't want to do that work. I'm doing all the hard work and the grit, and everyone else is benefiting off of my hard work. Or I don't want to work that shift, or I don't want to work at that department, or whatever the case may be, right? Well, here's the thing. That entry-level job is the first step to reaching your eventual goal. That's the first step. That's how you have to see it. So, what comes to mind? Nursing students, for example, right? When they graduate, they pass the NCLEX, they get the bar, and they have their license to practice nursing. But maybe they can't find a job because all of the job requirements are asking for 2 or 3 years experience. They have clinical experience at school, but not real world paid experience. The only positions they might find may be at hospitals for overnight shifts. And I've heard this a lot throughout my career. And a lot of people don't want to work overnight. For some people, it works perfectly for their life. But generally, overnight is not really preferred. But here's the thing. You need the experience. So you might as well just make the sacrifice. Do what you need to do to get from your current state to your desired state. Everything in between those two states is the amount of time, commitment, and sacrifice you're willing to do to get to your desired state. All right. So you may have to work overnight for 1 or 2 years. And guess what? Then you'll have 2 years experience under your belt. So try to change your perspective when it comes to an entry-level job, because you're not going to be in that role forever. It is the stepping stone to something greater.
100%. 110%. I agree. This was actually, I experienced this, Stephanie. I started as a manager position. I was in a manager position, and then I was in a director position, and an opportunity came, and I didn't find any other director positions at the time, the offers that I was getting. So I had to take a step back to a senior manager position to then, from that senior manager position, go on to be a chief HR officer. You see, that step back that I had at that other company, that didn't give me, I thought it was like death to me, right? Because I was like, I'm moving up. That's not moving up. I'm just doing worse than I was doing before. I was like in my feelings about it, but I had to get over it, right? I had to get over it because I was like, I wanted to make a wider impact and make a difference. And I was looking at the title, right? That's what I was looking at, but I didn't look at the scope of what the job covered, right? So I had to take a step back in order to move forward. Right. Yes. And that's what that's to essentially to the point that you're making. It's okay if you're not at the ideal level that you're at. You can't compare Stephanie's 17 years of experience in HR and expect to start exactly where she's at right now. When you haven't put in the work, you don't have the experience.
Right.
You know what I mean? You need that experience to help you deal and interact and different backgrounds and different people and all the walks of life. You know what I mean? You really do need that.
Absolutely. It's so important to change the perspective. Absolutely. And I like that. Sometimes you have to take a step back to move forward. That's perfect. That's spot on.
Yeah. See, we're not spitting stuff here that it's from eons ago and you can't use it today. This is stuff that I had to use right now, right? If you change your mindset about how you see that open positions, maybe if they're in an entry level position and they want more and they think they're ready for more, ask the manager, and the opportunity is not there in another position higher, then maybe job enlargement, right? But to Stephanie's point, that shadowing, checking out what other people are doing, so that way to see if that's where you want to go. You know what I mean? But you got to get the experience under your belt.
Yes,
you really do. Oh, we have some folks. Hi, Tyrone. Thanks for dropping in. Renata, Golda, thank you guys all for dropping in and sharing. Let us know if you have any questions as we continue this conversation. Stephanie, where are we? We're done with number 7.
8.
Number 8.
Yes. Harness the power of connections. Yes, this is so important, and I know it's tough for those who are more reserved or introverted. They're less likely to speak and start a conversation, but it really doesn't have to be that hard. Try to get out of your head, get out of your feelings, right? So whether you're at work or your child's school, your place of worship, wherever you are, there's a pretty good chance you have at least one thing in common with someone in your space, right? So if we just focus on the workplace, for example, let's say you're new to a company, you can ask them, hey, how long have you been working here? What do you enjoy doing most? What type of education or schooling or training have you done to get to where you are today? Get people talking. You never know what you're going to learn. You never know what they know and who they know, right? They'll start asking you questions as well. And then next thing you know, there's going to be a connection there. Like, I need to introduce you to so-and-so, he'll be able to help you, or she'll be able to do this, or you should meet this person. You never know. But if you stay to yourself, you stay quiet, and you don't take advantage of the people around you, you're not going to grow your network, and you're going to stay stagnant. And no one wants to do that. Your career will not progress unless you are comfortable with opening up and having a conversation. It doesn't have to be a major conversation, just kind of small talk. Begin with small talk and see where it goes.
100%. Stephanie, what happens if once they start asking those questions, they run into the wrong person and they start telling them all kinds of negative things about the job? What do you think then?
Well, you know what? Then it's good for you to know. Yeah, you wouldn't have known otherwise, right? Hey, you may get the good, the bad, the ugly. You don't know what you're going to get, but the more you know, the better you'll be able to operate.
Right, 100%. They'll tell you, stay away from that one over there. Then you know how to approach, right? You know how to approach, what to say, what to not say, so that way you stay out of the way, you stay out of being the bullseye, somebody coming for you or anything like that, right? Because unfortunately in the workplace, so many things can go left, and a lot of things as well can go right. You know what I mean? But in how you handle what comes your way, deciphers what is going to come out of that situation. You get to decide. No matter what people, I know sometimes in the workplace there's so much going on, and anger, frustration, gossiping, and not helping, and all kinds of things. So you just have to do you. Like, come there to do the job, do it well, do it to the point where when you go home and you look at yourself in the mirror, you're happy with the work that you put out.
Yes.
Right?
Oh,
You feel that's why you're doing it. You're not doing it for them. You're doing it, and especially you're doing it for you. For you to walk away with your conscience clear. I did the best that I could, and that's that. You know what I mean? That's why you want to do it. You want to feel good within yourself that you're putting out good work, not crappy work, right? Because
absolutely.
If the roles were reversed and you were the manager of that department or of that company, you would want people to do their best, whether they agree with every single thing that was done or not. Because sometimes it's not what people do, it's how they do it. And it's not what you do, it's how you do it and how you respond to what is done to you.
Absolutely.
Right?
Oh, that's so true. Really, one of life's many secrets is really not what happens to you, it's how you handle it. That's really what sets the tone for what's to come. So I agree 100%. Yes.
Yay! Yay! So let's move on to number 9.
Yes. Preparation is key to success. Oh,
yeah.
I can't stress this enough. Preparation.
Cannot.
Oh my goodness. If you have an upcoming speech or presentation or a public speaking engagement, an interview, an exam, please take the time to prepare. Don't think, I'm just going to wing it and see what happens. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that. You owe it to yourself to bring your best, right? Take the time. Don't wait for the last minute and try to cram everything in over a few hours and lack of sleep, and then you expect to shine the next day. It's not going to happen like that. Maybe very few people can actually pull that off. But
100%, I agree.
It doesn't work. Put in the time, put in the effort, especially when it comes to public speaking or giving a speech in a small setting even, right? The more comfortable you are with the content, the easier it will be. You won't be so focused on, all these people are looking at me and what are they thinking? If you're comfortable with the content, your voice is going to be strong, your posture, your body language, you're going to look and feel comfortable, and therefore your audience is going to find what you're sharing credible, right? It's going to come out easy and naturally, as opposed to nobody wants to hear that.
You said exactly what I was going to say. Nobody wants to hear that.
Nobody wants to hear that. The occasional is fine, but I've seen people literally more ums than actual content comes out.
Right.
And you can tell
it is not we're not laughing because we're laughing at the situation, right? We're laughing because you could have prepared.
Yes. It could be prevented. Yes.
You could be prevented. You could prepare. You don't use the day that you're supposed to be presenting as your preparation day.
Right.
No.
Hey,
Don't do that.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Yes. And even for interviews, oh my goodness, right? We're in HR, so we've seen this. I've done 1,000 interviews where candidates literally just lost the job because they didn't prepare. They look great on paper, but either they didn't know what they did in the past, they didn't read their own resume, they didn't read the company's website, social media pages. You can even watch their YouTube channels if they have one. Feed yourself with all that knowledge and how your experience, your values tie into the company. This is how you're able to better answer questions, right? But if you just come in like, I'm just going to do my best, let's see what happens, it's not going to work out. It's really not. It's so, I can't stress this enough. Please prepare. Prior preparation prevents poor performance.
Ooh. Stephanie,
you
gonna have to so you have to say that again for the folks in the back. The folks in the back did not hear you. You gotta say it back. You gotta say it again, Stephanie. Say it again.
Prior preparation prevents poor performs. Yes.
I love that. And I agree 1,000%. There's this phrase that says, you will always only command what you have prepared for.
Exactly.
If you don't prepare for it, how can you command it? How can you command the knowledge, the confidence, the what you know? How can you convey that message that you're going to share if you haven't prepared?
Absolutely.
So prepare for that interview, prepare to take that certification, prepare to, just like how, what's going to resonate with them, Stephanie? Prepare when you're getting ready to go on a date. Tell me you guys are not preparing. You are not wearing your Sunday best.
Oh my gosh.
You're not wearing your Sunday best. Your hair is your nails, your toes, your clothes. You probably even you don't work out at all, but you're gonna work out these next 2 weeks before that date. Don't come with me because I've been there. I've done that. I know what you guys are dealing with.
Exactly. Oh my gosh.
Exactly how you prepare to see that girl, to see that guy. Prepare for your life, for your career choices. Absolutely. Right? So that way, and then when they don't choose you or you don't have good feedback from that presentation you should have prepared for, don't blame them for being discriminatory or, not being patient or not giving you enough time. They gave you 2 weeks. What did you do with the 2 weeks? Or if they give you a day, it doesn't matter. You have time when you go home, prepare for it. Prepare with your husband or your loved ones, have them be the people that you present to.
Yes.
Practice.
That's a great point. Absolutely. Practice. Have someone listen to you, give you feedback on your speech, on your tone, on your posture. If you don't have someone, you can record yourself and then watch it after. Yeah, absolutely. Then you can notice, oh, I didn't realize I do that. You notice little things.
I like the fact that you said that. I didn't like recording myself and watching myself. I would prefer to have somebody look live how I'm doing. My husband has been subjected to many live conversations that I would have to have with other people that he probably didn't like, but he sat there and he gave me the constructive feedback. And another friend of mine, I would send them like voice notes of me talking it and they would listen. They were like, yes, no, maybe go higher, go lower, whatever, right? And sometimes you are fidgeting and you don't even know you're fidgeting.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You are like, I used to have this guy that used to be like, he used to walk back and forth. Like he would be like shaking, doing exactly this when he's like talking. And then he would be like this. And it was like for a minute, we thought that he was getting ready to sing us a song, but it wasn't.
And he had no idea. I'm sure
He had no idea. And he's like, I do? Or what? He was, because he didn't know he was doing it. That's what I'm saying. That's what we're saying. I had this other girl that would she would stammer, like she would like to Stephanie's point, yeah, 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 yeah. You hear how that sounds? It doesn't sound good on that end, right? I know. That's
It doesn't. Not at all. Oh my goodness.
prepare, prepare, prepare.
Yes.
Okay?
Please.
2025 is coming whether we are prepared for it or not. So prepare yourself. What are you going to do for 2025? How do you want your 2025 to look like? Prepare now. Now.
Exactly.
Right now.
Prepare now. That's perfect.
Right now. Yeah. So let's go on to number 10, because for number 9, I think I love number 9. I love number 9.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't stress it enough.
Yeah, right?
Really, it works for everything. Work, home, school. It just works for life overall. So yeah, I hope at least that if everyone leaves with one main takeaway.
Let me give him Let me give him another one, Steph. Let me give him another one. How about you tell your kid, your son, your daughter to do their homework, and they don't do it, and then you find out next day the teacher tells you he didn't do it. What are you getting mad at him for? You didn't prepare for that job presentation. Your kid, your son, your daughter is doing exactly what you're doing. So
that's true.
You got to be an example as well, right? You want to be an example.
That's so true. That's true. You're being watched at home just like at work. So
yeah. So the same standards you hold your son, hold yourself to them, or your daughter, or anybody else that you have in your life. So yeah, let's go on to number 10, because I love me some number 9 all day.
Number 10. All right. Learn to adjust or get left behind. People.
That's a slap in the face.
I mean, look, it is what it is. Change is imminent. It's going to happen. You have to learn to adjust to change. Whatever your situation is at work, your work bestie that you've had for 3-4 years, where you sit at work or where you stand at work, your commute, your manage, anything can change. Don't get too comfortable, okay? If your manager comes to you and says, we're using a new software, or we have a new timekeeping system, or your manager just say, hey, I won the lottery, I'm out. And then they have to replace them with someone else, right? And it turns out that your former manager was very lenient with policies, let's say, right? Like you get away with things, and the new manager comes in ready to put some structure. Like I'm gonna add some structure to this department. All of a sudden now you're mad, like, oh, well, the last person let me do it. That was the last person. Change is going to happen. You have to learn how to adjust, or you will get left behind. You will remain stagnant. You will not progress. You will be overlooked for promotions, and you'll just be stuck there watching everybody else move on. And here you are in the same space, the same position for years and years and years. Learn to adjust, people. It's so important. Don't hold yourself back.
Don't hold yourself back. Stop holding yourself back by refusing to change. You see, I mean, I know change is, it's no matter where you are in life, as long as you're a human being and your blood is red and you're here on Earth, again, unless you're an alien, change is gonna happen, right? It has to happen, right? Right now, the whole world of work is going through the strong reality of AI is here and it's coming, it's here, and it's to stay. Yes. So you think they want to change the way the processes and all the stuff that's going on right now? No, but they have to adjust. You have to adjust to what's going on, so that way you can continue to be sustainable, so you can be innovative, creative, you can be, profitable, strategic in all of your moves and your mechanisms and stuff. You know what I mean? If you decide not to move with where everybody else is going, no doubt you can stay in that position. But if that position becomes obsolete,
Mm.
like
Oh,
that's that's a real scenario in today's world.
that can happen. Oh, yeah, absolutely. That is something to
Y-
consider as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that position is no longer part of what we want our structure to look like.
Mm-hmm.
You thought you were safe. Not safe.
That's a great
Not
point.
safe.
Glad you brought that up.
So
Absolutely.
you got to be able to prepare yourself, which is why we're saying make sure that you're getting the skills that you need, because you don't know what the future is going to look like. So the
Mm-hmm.
best thing you can do is prepare for, maybe you're not, Stephanie, maybe they're not at their dream job, maybe they don't like where they're at, maybe they don't like what they're doing. These 10 gems that Stephanie shared with us last week and this week and what we just went over is for you to start thinking. Stop thinking about what you would like to do and what you want and your desires. Just thinking about it. Stop thinking and act.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Do something about it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Stop
you,
thinking.
you gotta
Yeah.
you gotta
And stop
pact
making
your
excuses.
thinking. Oh, excuses.
Yes.
No, I couldn't move because he did this or she did that and they
Right.
did that, and everybody else's fault but yours. It's everybody else's fault, and it's poor me, poor you. Can it be? I mean, we're talking some harsh things here because I've been there.
Mhm.
We've been there,
Yes. Yes.
right?
Uh-huh.
So, and we've been pointing the fingers. We're not doing that thing where it's your fault and four fingers are pointing back. No, we'd be like, I want to punch him, and all those 4 or 5 fingers are pointing back at you because it's on you.
It's on you.
Because it's on
Exactly.
you. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter what anybody else does to you, is how you respond. We just said that, right? And because how you respond, let's say nobody else is in charge of your career but you.
But you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. I tell employees that all the time. No one's responsible for your career development but you. Absolutely.
Some
And
people want to
people
make
feel
it
like,
the job. They want to say that it's the jobs, is the manager, is the company,
mhm, mhm.
everybody else's responsibility. But that's for you to move around and do stuff and get a degree and pay for it and all that stuff. If you don't take advantage of it,
Mhm. Exactly.
whose responsibility is it? Whose responsibility is it? Like, it's yours. Take charge of it. And if the company don't have what you need, maybe it's time for you to move on. I don't know. What your situation is. I can't speak. I'm just throwing ID. We're just throwing
Yes. Yeah.
out there, right? And giving you a chance to start thinking. Because you can't keep complaining about the same thing and expecting a different result.
Yes.
Baby boy, baby girl, it's time for you to put some action behind your thoughts. That's what we're saying.
I love that.
It doesn't matter what your situation is. Pack it with some actions, and then you come and check me out. Come and check me out. So we have Tyrone. He asks a question here: what to do if your company or entity doesn't want to change?
Ooh, okay. Well, I mean, you can make a strong business case for why they should change, but that would require putting some work into it, putting some research, and getting all your facts together, getting all your ducks in a row, because they're going to want to know why, how much it's going to cost them, how much it's going to make them, how much money will they make if they make this change, how is it relevant to them. So it's not just about we should do this or we should do that. Get the facts, get the receipts, but put your business case together. But if you find that they're still hesitant, they're not budging, then maybe you're in the wrong place, unfortunately.
Remember, we said you could be in the right company, but you're not in the right way. But you may be in the wrong company in the right way. So if you're coming correct with data and you're proving to them that, hey, maybe we should go in this direction based on proof, and they're still not moving in that direction, yeah, to Stephanie's point, you gotta like figure out, is
Yeah.
it time for you to move on? I don't know. And
It's
I don't, that's a very sensitive subject, right? Because you got to make sure you're taking care of your family. You don't leave, you never, when I talk to my clients, never encourage them to leave one job without having another one. You want to have something, right?
Yes.
So that way you can make sure that you're still providing for your family, right? Because we got to eat, right?
Yes.
Me and your family have to eat, okay? So we got to make sure that we got food coming in, right? But at the same time, you want to make sure that you are pursuing your God-given purpose, especially if you're at a job that you love, right? And you love being there, and you like doing what you're doing, right? You want to make sure that you're doing it with the cleanness of your heart, and you cannot walk away if you haven't given it your all. And to Tyrone's point, yeah, and to Stephanie's point, give it your all, pack it with some actions, give them the data, do the research, do the homework, go to the right people, talk to, if your boss is not listening, go to HR. If HR is not listening, go to the boss above the boss. Go to everybody else that you need to go to, so that way when you decide to give them the deuces, then you know that your conscience is clear and you've done all that you could do.
Exactly. You've done all you can do. Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, you've done all that you could do. Thanks for that question, Tyrone. Hopefully we've said something that can help, and hopefully you have. If you haven't done that already, maybe that's an option for you, right? Maybe that's an option for you to go do some homework and take it to them and go from there. But definitely don't sit down with your hands
Twiddling your thumbs.
No, Tyrone, you don't sound like this kind of person. You're not twiddling your thumbs. You sound like an action taker, and I applaud you for that. Thank you so much, Golda, about the points that we shared. I definitely wanted to stop and talk about this that Renata said. Remember we mentioned earlier that they are always watching, and she says, and telling HR. What do you think about that? What do you think about that, Stephanie? Because we're HR. She's talking to HR right now.
It's true. It's true. They do. They do come to me. They do let me know what they observed. And the thing is, again, when you get to that annual evaluation or biannual, however often your organization does it, your manager or your supervisor has to put a business case together as to why you're not getting a promotion or why you're not passing that evaluation. And so they are communicating with HR and letting us know too, because we're going to ask for that proof, because when the employee comes to us to complain, we're going to come to that manager or supervisor and say, okay, so-and-so is saying that they didn't meet expectations and they worked hard all year. What do you have to say to support your decision? And then this is how we know all throughout the year that yes, we actually do have some proof that they haven't been meeting expectations. They've been filling us in throughout the year. So yep, they are observing. They are talking to HR.
I'm gonna give you guys the so that's one conversation, what Stephanie just mentioned. The other side of that is the manager. You, the manager, see that the employee is doing whatever outside of their task or scrolling or whatever it is you see them doing.
Right.
You don't go straight to HR. It's your employee.
That's true.
Talk to them.
That's a great point. That's a great point. Yeah.
Because if the thing about it is that HR is what, the third party or second party, right? Right in that loop.
Yeah.
You as the manager, the employee reports to you. And you should be meeting with the employee on a regular basis anyways, right? You shouldn't just meet once a year when you have to do evaluation. I laugh because this is such a real thing, and it happens way too often, and it shouldn't happen. You should be meeting with your employees bi-weekly to see what's going on with them. What can you help them with? What resources they need? Are they okay? Do they see any changes that they can recommend? And how can you be of service to them in their role. You as a manager, that's what you should be doing, right? Supporting them so that they can level up and be the better version of them in that position, right?
Oh, excellent. I love that.
So,
Absolutely. Yeah.
right?
That's so true.
So
They should.
don't run to HR. That's your employee. Talk to them. And
Mhm.
talk to them, and if you don't know how to talk to them now, yeah, go to HR and maybe
Right.
HR can help give you some points,
Yeah.
right, on how to talk to them because you want to come correct, right? Because otherwise the conversation is going to go left and then everybody's going to be in HR. Right?
Oh
um,
my gosh.
Thank you, Tyrone. He said cold, hard truth. I mean, that's what we're here for. We're laughing because, man, I remember being in these situations.
Mhm.
And Stephanie is in these situations and having these conversations with people. HR sees so much.
Yeah.
We see so much. We hear so much. And unfortunately, it's we see people at their best when they're getting that job on that day one. And then unfortunately, when they're leaving or they have to be left, then
Yes.
you see them at their worst,
Yes. It's true.
you know? And we
And
want to
everything in
prevent
between.
that and everything else in between, right? And we want to prevent that, right? We want to
Yes.
prevent that from
Absolutely.
happening. We want you to be the best version of yourself. So, Stephanie, I'm going to let you just talk to them for a few minutes while we get ready to wind down. Such a great conversation.
Yes.
Thank you guys for asking your questions. And if you guys have anything else before we get out of here, share it so that way I can have Stephanie just jump in and give you guys some more knowledge and power to what you're going to do next. Because everybody's next is coming. What is yours going to look
Everybody's next
like?
is coming. Yes, absolutely. Yes, everyone. Just kind of think of it like this. What you do today is going to help you tomorrow, right? So do something today that your future self will thank you for. All right. A lot of our
Mm.
goals, short, long, whatever, we're not going to see we're not going to see that end result right away sometimes. But don't worry about the time it'll take to get there because the time will pass. God willing, the time will pass anyway. So you might as well think of your career rather than thinking like a hunter where you're going for the kill right away to get your end result right away. Think of your career as being a farmer. You're planting the seeds now to watch the harvest later, to reap the harvest later. You understand? Everything you're doing now, you will benefit from later.
I love that. So, not a hunter, but a farmer. Oh, Stephanie, that means that they're going to have to be patient.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. And not a lot of people are patient. They want that instant gratification, but that's just not how it works most of the time. That's just not how it works.
Yeah, we're in America. We want it now. Like, we
Now,
want it right this
right now,
minute.
or
My
yesterday.
goodness. Yesterday. Yeah. I
Yeah.
love that. I mean, if you guys have nothing else, I think this is how we're going to end this. Be a farmer, not a hunter. I love that. Steph, you're going to have to come back and speak more on that. I think we're going to make Stephanie come back, right, you guys? Yes. We're going to make Stephanie come back. So maybe next year, early next year or something, we're going to have Stephanie back here because she is amazing and I learned a lot. This was
Oh,
a great
I
conversation.
learned from you as well,
Thank
Dr. Dale.
you.
Thank you.
Yes, this was really
Never stop
amazing.
learning.
I so thank you for stopping in and sharing because I really enjoyed it. Thank you so very much.
Thank
Anybody
you.
else? Thank you, Stephanie. Do you want to smile and say anything? If you guys want to get in contact with Stephanie, she's on LinkedIn, right?
Yes, I am. Yes. No, really, thank you so much for everyone who tuned in, who's listening, or who will listen after the recording is available. I appreciate your time and attention. And, just be your own advocate. Be your own advocate. Do whatever you need to do to get from your current state to your desired state, and you will reap the benefits.
you will reap the benefits. And with that, we are out, you guys. Bye. See you
Bye.
guys next week.